Do you ever have times when you're going through your day-to-day life and it all feels like a grind and you wonder when something good's going to happen? That's what I want to talk to you about today, because there are times in our lives when really we should feel some gratitude for what's around us, and we don't. I've been feeling grotty for the last month or so. I have good days and I have bad days. I have up days, I have down days. But through the course of it, I felt pretty miserable. And I'm sure you've felt like that at times too. But what I want to do is share you some things that may just help you feel a little bit better about your life and give you cause to be grateful when you're not. First up, it's a good idea to look at the small things in our lives, things that we don't even think about on a day-to-day basis, but really we should. Let's start off talking about things like food. Did you have food yesterday? Do you have food today? It's something we take for granted for most of us. The fact that we have food to eat. It's getting colder now, and most of us have clothes that we can put on and keep ourselves warm. We can also turn the heating on at home. That's something to be grateful for, but you don't give a thought to it yourself because we take it for granted. They're small things that we should be grateful for. And when you think about it in a different light, well, then you can be grateful for that. There are so many things that on a daily basis happen for us that we just kind of take it as normal. And sometimes you just need to step back and realize how fortunate you are. Let me give you an example. Deb's just made me a cup of tea. Ah, lovely. But normally, it's just a cup of tea. It's nothing, is it? But if you take things for granted, then you're not going to be grateful for them. One of the big things for me, and what maybe for you, is that there are people out there who care about us. I have people who phone me up every now and again, or I phone them, people that I can keep in contact with, who make my life better. Just picking up a phone and hearing their voice makes me feel better. Having a chat with a friend for an hour, as I did the other day, just makes you feel good. And I'll tell you something else that you wouldn't imagine I'm grateful for, but I am. It's the community that I have on this channel. I'm very fortunate. I do a live stream on a Monday night. Now, for the last 4 Mondays, I've felt ill all day. Before each of the live streams for the last 4 Mondays, I've spent a couple of hours in bed building myself up to it because I haven't felt well. And yet, the minute I press that button and start chatting to the people in my community, my spirits rise. I feel better. I feel livelier. And by the end, I feel like I've had a great time. And I'm really grateful for that. And I'm sure there are times when you're with people and a little conversation between you and a couple of others, either when you're out or when you're at work, has just lifted your spirits and made you feel so much better. But we don't think of them as things to be grateful for, and we should. I had an occasion yesterday to think about things. I had an option of going to 3 funerals yesterday. One was a friend of mine's mother-in-law who'd passed away. Another was my cousin's father-in-law who'd passed away. And thirdly was a friend of mine's grandson who was 8 years old. 3 funerals, one day. Like I said, I'm not feeling great at the moment. And the thought that there were 3 funerals going on of people that I knew made me realise how lucky I am to still be here. And I'm sure it happens to you as well, that you hear stories of people that you know who are going through tough times. And it's at those times that you should really feel grateful for what you have. Have you had any occasion when you've been feeling down and something has happened that's lifted your spirits? If so, write down below, let us know. One of the things that I'm grateful for, and I don't think about it in that way too often, is that I have the opportunity to help people, to do things, to say stuff, to do this channel and pass on information that may just help one person. If something I say today helps one person think about their life in a different and better way, that's something I should be grateful for. And that could be for anybody. There is nothing that stops anyone trying to help someone out, doing a good deed. You can be grateful that you have the ability to do that. You see, in this life, there are so many ways that we can step out of ourselves and stand into a world where we can make a difference. And if you are struggling at the moment with the life around you being not as good to you as you would have hoped, well, then I've talked about this before, and there's something that I think can help tremendously. And it's called a gratitude diary. I have one here. This is my journal. Now, this part here is things that I need to do, things that I haven't done, all sorts of stuff like that. But this side here is where I talk about the one thing each day that's made me feel better or lifted my spirits. Or you could say, helped me to feel grateful when I don't. And that can change from day to day. Let me give you some of the comments that I've made in here for this month. Silly as it sounds, I've got on here a cracking chicken pie for dinner. Cheered me up. Enjoyed the live stream again. That was on Monday. Lovely talking to my cousin James. It doesn't have to be great big things. And if at the end of the day, you're thinking to yourself, I don't know, I can't think of anything that went great today, I've got one that I put down every now and again. And I did last week, one day. I put on it, I'm glad that I woke up. Because if you wake up, you still have a chance to make your life better. There are so many things that we can be grateful for. It doesn't have to happen to us. It can be something that we do for somebody else. There is so much we can be grateful for. And when we feel down, it does take just a little different bit of thinking, a little perspective change. I'm sure you've had it, that you've gone on a day when you've not been feeling great, and you've gone and you've seen somebody in the street, you've helped them and you felt bad for doing it. Or someone's helped you do something when you're struggling and that's made you feel better. We may feel down. We may be going through struggles of our own. But if you look at it in the right way, and you sometimes have to make an effort to do that, I can tell you. But if you can find one thing each day that you can be grateful for, then you have a great life. And on the days when you don't feel great, if you write them down in a journal, you'll be able to go back over them and remind yourself that, you know what, your life is a lot better than you sometimes think. And sometimes when you're feeling down, you lose a bit of confidence in yourself. And if you click up there, I'm going to show you 10 ways you can boost your confidence fast. I'll see you in the next video.